Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Sharon's Simple Real Estate Steps. If this is the first time that you've stopped by, thanks for stopping by. If you like what you see in the upcoming video, or if you had a chance to look at some of the other videos, make sure you subscribe at the bottom of the page so that you can be notified when I post another video. And in the beginning, I talked about real estate and why people are hesitant, or what are some of the turnoffs about a real estate agent. And I've talked about, should you buy now? Should you sell now? What you need to do, get ready as a buyer, what you need to get ready as a seller. But in trying to learn a little bit more about this whole YouTube channel process, what I realized is that some of you might be saying to yourself, why should I listen to you? I don't even know you. I don't know anything about you. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about me, but more precisely what I do in the process when I'm working with a seller or I'm working with a buyer. So why did I decide to do a YouTube channel? In my other professions prior to real estate, I was involved and worked in television and also in education. So in working in television, I am familiar with this process and being in front of a camera. And in education, I was used to taking a process or information and breaking it down for my students so they can understand it better. In working with real estate clients, I realized that whether they're first-time buyers and sellers or whether they've bought and sold real estate before, there are times when people need refreshed or reminded about the process and also about my role in that process and what they can expect from me. So let me start with the seller side. When somebody is planning to sell their house, it is a very personal experience. Depending upon the memories that you have there, how long you've been there, you are going to have in your mind what you might want to ask for that house, but it is going to be a subjective decision. You are going to take the things that you know and love about that house, and maybe some of the things you don't, love about that house, and you're going to factor that into your price. It's important to come to an agent, and when I meet with my seller for the first time, we will discuss what you're thinking, but I can be more objective with what the price should be for that house. And that's probably the reason I address it first, is that's probably the biggest thing that sellers want to know. What are you going to list my house for? Some agents will walk in and tell you right away, you should ask this. I'm a little more thoughtful in the process just because that's how I am. So I will talk with you. I'll find out your number, but then I will probably step back and tell you that I want to do some research on the market right now. Because yes, I'm familiar with the Pittsburgh market. I'm familiar with the Hilton Head market. But it has changed and continues to change very quickly, especially over the last 2 years. So I like to then take your house specifically and kind of do my own CMA at first, do some comparisons. I will take into account your beds, the baths, how many upgrades you have, the size of your lot. I'll talk about square foot in a minute. And the school district that you're in, and some of those things that make your house unique, okay? The location of your house. Where is it? Yes, it might be in Upper St. Clair, but where is it in Upper St. Clair? Now, I want to come back to square footage because in some markets, square footage is big, and the multi-list will list that on a regular basis. In Western Pennsylvania, not every house, you're not going to see the square footage for every house listed on the multi-list. They don't want to do that for legal reasons, and so we in Western Pennsylvania don't use that as much as some other markets might use it when you're looking for, how much per square foot will this house break down to. So I will take the information that I have from your house. I'll listen to you about the neighborhood, what you tell me about the house. I'll look around your house, look at the upgrades, how you've updated it, what might need work, what might, be beautiful and above and beyond, any bonus rooms you have. And then I'll step back and I'll do some research, and then I'll come up with a list price for you. In addition to that, we have to also take into consideration your time frame, because that's going to impact where you can set that price. And depending on how quickly you need to sell it, or if you're just kind of, putting your toe in the water to see, testing it to see if you get any interest on your house. So that's part of the process as well. After that, after we've had the discussion, after I know a little bit about you and your time frame and how you feel about your house, I'll do that, and then we will list it. Once it's on the market, I will continue to monitor that market. I set myself up on a portal that shows me everything that's coming into the market as yours is out there, so that I know what the competition is, if something has sold before yours, what's come on the market after yours. So I will continue to monitor that market as your house is on the market. How do I sell your house? Most real estate agents have a lot of tools today. The internet has allowed us to have a lot of tools. If you are on the MLS, which any real estate agent would be, you have that as a marketing tool. And then depending on the brokerage you're with, we have at Keller Williams, everything's pushed out to Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com and Redfin. So we're all over the internet. Then I have a website, and your house will be marketed on that website. I will push you out in my social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and in LinkedIn. So I will market your house to as many people as are out there that would be interested in buying a house in your area. So those are some of the things that I bring to the table. The last piece of it would be when you get your offer, or lately it's been offers, multiple offers on the listings most of the time. And so then I will sit down with you. I will break down, the offers that you're receiving. If you receive several and we do highest and best, I'll put together a form that compares a number of things about each offer. It's not just about price. Again, you're looking at what their hand money is, if they're strong financially, a strong buyer, what their time frame is, and those types of things when you are looking to decide which offer you're going to accept. So those are some of the things that I bring to the process as your realtor. And hopefully that makes you feel a little more comfortable with me in understanding how I operate. If you are buying, the first thing I need to find out from you is what's important to you. What areas do you want to live in? I will have a discussion with you as far as your wants and your needs and what you can afford. And even though sometimes that might be a difficult conversation, it's a conversation that we need to have if I am your agent, because to go through the process and not be realistic is a waste of everybody's time. And so we will sit down and I will find out what it is that you are looking for. Once we do that, I'll set you up on a portal. As you are looking through the houses that come through your portal, I will, sometimes say, hey, this looks like what you're looking for, but I usually don't do that at first because I like to get some feedback from you. I like to look at what you're favoriting. Once we start to go and see houses, I get a better sense most of the time of what you're looking for. So as we move through the process and, you inquire with me about a house, can I go and see this? Or what do you think about this one? I can, once I know you a little bit better, be able to say, well, yeah, I think that's a great house, but remember how you didn't like the one house we went to see that was right on a main road? Well, this one's on a main road too. So we can still go and see it, but that's something that you might want to consider. Before we go and look at houses, generally I'll send you the disclosures. If they are available, if they're not, I'll ask the agent for them. And I will ask you to look through the disclosures before we go, so that if we're walking through the house and they talk about a sump pump that's in there and a reason that it was put in there, we're going to take a look at that when we walk through the house. If they talk about water damage that happened in the roof, we're going to look at that area just to notice it. It certainly might not be a deal breaker, but it's something that we want to pay attention to. So if you have those disclosures and some idea about the house before we go through, you will look at the house in a way that is better for you as far as what you should offer on the house and what you might have to put into the house coming up. So you'll look with a better eye than just, oh, I love this house, or, you're blown away by this beautiful kitchen that's done, but, everything else in the house is falling apart. So if there's a house that you're particularly excited about, before we go, I'll run some comps in that area. So you will be a more well-educated buyer as we go through the house. Once you make a decision, we will put an offer together. And we'll have a better sense of what things are selling for in that neighborhood. So, in a nutshell, that's my approach with my sellers and my buyers. I feel like the most important thing I can do as your real estate agent is to get to know you and your needs and what it is that you need to get out of this process. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that both my clients and the other people on the other side of the transaction are happy. When everybody's happy, everybody's satisfied with the process as it has been executed, then I have done my job, the other agent has done their job, and that's a good feeling. Hopefully you get a little better sense of who I am and what it is I do and how I approach the real estate market and my job as a real estate professional. At any rate, please have a wonderful week. I hope you stop back. As always, subscribe, bottom of the page. If you want to shoot me an email, SharonRosa@kw.com. Have any questions? If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to sell your house, please reach out to me. I would be happy to help you in either the Pittsburgh area or the Hilton Head area. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you here next Friday.